This is Jarrod Horak, and it's Tuesday, April 15th, and in this video, I'm going to share the latest Kentucky Derby news. The Lexington Stakes at Keeneland on April 12th was the final Kentucky Derby 2025 points race, and I finished my Road to the Derby video series with an 11 for 35 record, and I showed a flat bet profit for that Derby video series. And I've been on fire recently with my handicapping videos. My final 7 Derby points race videos yielded 5 top choice winners in the Arkansas Derby, Wood Memorial, Santa Anita Derby, Bluegrass, and Lexington, and 2 runner-up finishes in the Florida Derby and UAE Derby. And I ended my Road to the Kentucky Oaks video series with a 15 for 30 record, a 50% win rate on the Road to the Oaks this year. So a strong showing on the Road to the Oaks, and I finished strong on the Road to the Derby. Let's see if I can keep that momentum throughout this Triple Crown season. And I'm going to have much more Derby news coverage on my channel in the coming days and weeks. I posted a video a couple of days ago updating the Derby news. And if you want to check out my latest Kentucky Derby report, you'll find that report at therunawayhorse.com on my Kentucky Derby page. I will include a link to that article in the video description below. And for my Kentucky Derby reports, they include points race recaps, updated point standings, and my exceptional 11 Derby contenders. And now we're going to catch up on the latest Derby news. And there are currently 23 horses targeting the Kentucky Derby. Let's see who's in and who needs help making the field. Now we're going to pull up those 23 horses. And one of the news items that I have in this video is that River Thames for trainer Todd Pletcher. He's out of the Kentucky Derby. They've decided not to run him in the Derby. They're going to target the Preakness Stakes, and more on that later in this video. And the horses that are in, admire Daytona. He's in because he won the UAE Derby in Maidan. And from Japan, Luxor Cafe qualified for the Kentucky Derby. And then the points leaders, the other horses that have qualified for the Derby, Burnham Square, your Bluegrass winner, Sandman, Arkansas Derby winner, Journalism, Santa Anita Derby winner. Then you have Rodriguez, the Wood Memorial winner, Tiztastic, Louisiana Derby hero. Tappan Street won the Florida Derby. He's in, along with the Florida Derby runner-up, Sovereignty. Final Gambit, he won the Jeff Ruby Stakes. He's in, along with Coal Battle. Chunk of Gold is in. He was the runner-up in the Louisiana Derby. Citizen Bull, your 2-year-old champion. He has the points to run in the Derby. East Avenue, your runner-up in the Bluegrass Stakes. Publisher, still a maiden for Steve Asmussen. He was second in the Arkansas Derby. You have American Promise, the Virginia Derby winner for trainer D. Wayne Lucas. Flying Mohawk, Grande for trainer Todd Pletcher. Madaket Road for trainer Bob Baffert. And now, since River Thames is out, that gives Built the 20th spot if they want to run in the Derby. So we'll see if they decide to take that spot. And then the horses on the outside looking in, they need some help to get in. Neoequos, Rendered Judgment, and Baeza. And now we're going to get on to this latest Derby news. And as I said, River Thames, he's not going to run in the Kentucky Derby. The president of Windstar Farms, Elliot Walden, one of his co-owners, said that he's going to target the Preakness Stakes at Pimlico on May 17th. And the reason they're doing that is he's raced 4 times since January 11th, and he had no start as a 2-year-old, and they wanted more time between starts for this one. So now with River Thames out, that does open up a spot for Built. But Built, prior to getting this spot, was targeting the Pat Day Mile on the Kentucky Derby undercard. So we're going to see if Built decides to go for the Kentucky Derby instead. But if Built opts not to run in the Kentucky Derby, the next horse in line is Neoequos for trainer Saffie Joseph Jr., and his connections do want to run in the Kentucky Derby. And then speaking of Built, he did have a workout earlier today on April 15th. He breezed 4 furlongs in 49.80 seconds, 19th best of 23 at Churchill Downs. And other workouts, Citizen Bull on the West Coast for trainer Bob Baffert. He worked 5 furlongs in company with Dothraki at Santa Anita Park on April 13th, and they went their half mile in 47.60 seconds, 12th best of 202. Now for Citizen Bull, he's going to have to rebound following a disappointing effort in the Santa Anita Derby. Baeza for trainer John Sheriffs, and he had been scheduled to work on April 16th. So if you watched my last video a couple days ago, I said he was scheduled to work on April 16th, but his trainer John Sheriffs, he called an audible. He moved the work up 2 days to April 14th. And he went an easy 4 furlongs in 50 seconds flat, 39th best of 52. So he's going to work one more time at Santa Anita Park prior to shipping to Churchill Downs on April 24th, and then he'll have one pre-Derby workout at Churchill. Now he still needs help making the Derby field. There are 2 horses in front of him, on the waiting list, so we'll have to see if he ends up getting in. He's going to need another defection or two, and depending on how the other horses that aren't in, what they decide to do. But Baeza, his connections do want to run in the Kentucky Derby, and I would assume that for whatever reason, if he doesn't make the Kentucky Derby, he's probably going to show up in the Preakness Stakes. Arkansas Derby winner Sandman, he's on the grounds at Churchill Downs, and he breezed a half mile at Churchill in 49.60 seconds, 18th best of 23, and that was on April 15th. He galloped out 5 furlongs in 101 and 4, and 6 furlongs in 115 flat. Coal Battle, another horse that worked at Churchill on April 15th, and that was his first workout since he finished 3rd in the Arkansas Derby, and he breezed 5 furlongs in 101.20, 14th best of 21. And then he galloped out 6 furlongs in 117. Tiztastic and Publisher on April 15th, they schooled in the 20-horse Derby starting gate. So trainer Steve Asmussen getting his horses acquainted with that big starting gate for the first Saturday in May. And East Avenue, he's arrived at Churchill Downs and he galloped on April 15th. He arrived on April 14th and he had that gallop earlier today. And then finally, your early Kentucky Derby favorite Journalism. He's expected to have a workout this coming weekend at Santa Anita Park. Now, the details of the work, they're going to be finalized after they figure out shipping arrangements to Kentucky. So after they get that finalized, they're going to decide which day they're going to work him at Santa Anita this weekend. And he has reportedly been strong in his recent gallops. And his trainer, Michael McCarthy, he's pleased with his current fitness level. So for the Kentucky Derby favorite, everything is going well at this point. Now, if you're interested in my Triple Crown Series full cards, I will be offering a Kentucky Oaks Day full card at Churchill. That's Friday, May 2nd. A Kentucky Derby Day full card on May 3rd. And then for Preakness Week, Black Eyed Susan Day full card at Pimlico on Friday, May 16th. Preakness Day full card on May 17th. Belmont Stakes Week full cards at Saratoga, including Belmont Stakes Day full card on Saturday, June 7th. And I started adding Triple Crown Series products to my shop page, so you can pre-purchase those now. I've been offering full cards online since the 1990s, and I've been doing these annual Triple Crown Series full cards for many years, and I've had a lot of success over the years, a lot of trustworthiness as well, since I've been selling these cards online for many years, since the 1990s. Now, if you pre-purchase the Kentucky Derby products, I will email my early Derby analysis. I finished my early Derby analysis earlier this week, so I have that done. So if you purchase and pre-purchase now, I'll send that early Derby analysis out to you while I'm waiting to finish those Derby full cards. And I'm going to continue to update my early Derby analysis each week prior to the post-position draw, and my Kentucky Derby race analysis and full card will be complete Kentucky Derby week after post-positions are drawn. And then for this weekend, this coming Saturday, April 19th, I'm offering Keeneland and Santa Anita Park full cards. So you can purchase my Keeneland and Santa Anita full cards separately, or you can get them together as part of my Saturday special for $16. You can go to the runawayhorse.com on my shop page to pre-purchase those cards now, and I will email them out when analysis is complete later in the week. I send out my full cards 1 to 2 days before race day. So go to the runawayhorse.com on my shop page if you're interested in any of my products, and I will include a link to my shop page in the video description below. And like, comment, and share these videos if you like them. Subscribe to my channel as well, and it's free to subscribe. And until I see you next time, good luck at the races.